Hello and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we've got a fantastic race for you. It's going to be a Link to the Past NMG Tournament 2021 on... For our runners, we've got... Oh gosh, my computer is freaking out on me. We've got masteromlet versus ChelseyxLynn, and let's see... on comms, we've got Blaine, and then we should have Fox hopping in here, Fox Lisk. So yeah, take it away.
Thanks a lot. We got a good race on our hands for tonight. Hope everybody's ready for some more NMG 2021. I think I heard Fox join. Is that you, Fox?
I am here. Are we live already? Am I late?
No, you arrived right on time. This is perfect. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I ate too much pizza for dinner, but other than that, I'm good.
Is there really such a thing as too much pizza?
Well, my taste buds don't think so, but my stomach is undecided.
I guess we're going to get the answer to that later in the broadcast. But yeah, we got Master Omelet and ChelseyxLynn here in the first round. Where are we in this?
This is the first round, or like this is the people who got seeded into the losers bracket.
First round, losers bracket, round 1. So this is an elimination match. Somebody will be playing their last race of the tournament here. Lots on the line.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Chelsea has definitely the stronger PB, but Omelet has been improving at an incredible rate lately, so it should be pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah, Chelsea had a very nice race in her last group match versus TM, taking the win there. I think she got a 132-38. Master Omelet was actually our lowest seed in the group stages and actually PB'd the day before the tournament began in order to make the tournament. And then I believe his first 2 group matches were also PBs. And then won his 3rd group match. So he's had a fun run here in the tournament. And I think his PB is 2 minutes lower than it was even after those group races now. So you're right. He's been gaming hard, as have a lot of the lower seeds that have been in this tournament. They've taken a lot of opportunities in the tournament to PB. We've seen plenty of tournament PBs, and also, doing the offline grind tourney practice. It's been a fun time watching a lot of these players.
Yeah, definitely. It's fun. We haven't had an NMG tournament since I've been playing the game, and it's really fun to see so many people focus on NMG for a while. You see a lot of rando players suddenly really putting a lot of energy into NMG. You see people who are just getting started, who are sort of inspired to try harder because of it. It's really fun getting people involved in the community.
Yeah, it's been just about 3 years now, I think, since the last NMG event. That was kind of my intro to NMG, and some other players who were very high on the leaderboards today also, I think, got their start either because of that tournament or right around the start of that last tournament. So if we can see something similar happen with this tournament, check back 2 or 3 years from now and see a lot of these names at the top of the leaderboard, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be very exciting. I think we're just about getting started now.
Yeah, it looks like we'll be kicking off in a couple seconds here. So this is between, let's see, Chelsea was the 59th seed coming into the tournament, and Omelet was the 72nd. I don't know what the heck the seeds look like now based on everyone's current PBs, but maybe it's probably a little bit closer than it was then, since Omelet's taken a couple minutes off. I think Chelsea's PB is in the 132 range, 132-38 it looks like. So both of these runners are skilled at the game, and it doesn't matter what your skill level is, you can still have one of those just Link to the Past kind of runs, and whether you're a 124 runner or a 134 runner, you can just have one of those days where nothing's going right, or you can have one of those days where, hey, drop a minute and a half PB. So the range of what we can expect here is pretty wide, and I think that's going to make it kind of exciting.
Yeah, I would not be at all shocked if either player PB'd. They're definitely in that range of the game where they're the runs are still very volatile, and so it's easy for your skill to outpace what you've managed to put together in a whole run. Because you can save a minute over the course of the run and then lose 2.5 on a vitreous death or whatever, and not PB, even though you're totally capable of it. See a lot of that around this PB range, the like mid 130s.
Nobody has ever died on PB pace ever in this game, and certainly not in this tournament. That's never happened. I'm pretty sure it's happened like 3 times tonight alone. So
Yeah. Yeah, so both players getting off to the escape. Not the most action-packed part of the run. It's all just like very small movement things. You'll see the players trying to... I don't know if either of them are really going to do much pumping. You don't tend to see players in this, in the 130 range do a lot of pumping. Mostly just try to get through with clean doors, not taking too much damage, stuff like that.
and hoping for some better guard RNG than Omelet got with that green guy getting right in his way.
Chelsea accidentally slashing down at that guard. Saved it just fine, but pretty sure she was trying to do the strat that Omelet actually got with the double spin.
Surprisingly easy to slash down there. Just, one of those things where you get punished for trying to do it too fast. You didn't get your up input in between your slash, and
yeah.
I mean, I think of all of the rooms that can go badly in this whole run, that's probably one that everybody has had go badly a few times. So Chelsea probably no stranger to recovering a little bit of a mistake in there, as I think we can all relate to.
Yeah, the problem with that room is that it's about 1.5 minutes into the run, so most of us will just reset if something goes wrong. And so I've never tried to recover it, I don't think.
Yeah, it's sometimes what's great is when you decide to soldier on, and then you also mess up the next key guard room. And it's like, well, I guess this is a sign. We're doing escape again.
Yeah.
Ball and chain fights coming up here from both players. Looks like Chelsea's going to go with 8 slash, and Omelet is going to throw at least 1 pot. Looks like 2 pots. Nice fight from
Very
Chelsea.
nice 8 slash from Chelsea.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, pumping is a very minor movement optimization. Link alternates going 2 pixels and 1 pixel on different frames, and you can reset it. So if you happen to reset a 1 into a 2, you can gain a pixel about half of the time that you pump. Very minor, saves a few seconds over the course of a run, and most of them are in escape and Eastern.
I think it boils down to pump on staircases going up and don't bother anywhere else until you really are just bored by these screens more than anything else.
Yeah, it's definitely a way to beat boredom more than to beat the clock.
On your 1000th trip through escape, you're just kind of looking for stuff to do in escape, and I think that's where pumping starts coming into play. And then before you know it, you've just built up enough muscle memory that every time you move in a certain direction, you're going to be pumping.
Basically, the game is boring until we get boots and we can dash, so we gotta fill our time somehow.
Boring, but also dangerous. Like these are
They're not easy now.
Splits where many things can still go wrong, despite it not being. Link is moving very slowly. We've got total control over what's going on, but not a lot of health yet. Not a lot of weaponry.
Someone died in Eastern Palace in the last race I was just watching, actually. It's very possible. Good to see both players remember the lamp and Zelda.
I'm not positive, but I don't think we've had anybody in the tournament yet forget the lamp, which is actually surprisingly easy to do once in a while.
Yeah, I've done it exactly one time, and it was, of course, in a race in a different tournament, so that was great.
A lot of RNG in these back rooms in Escape. Nothing too terrible, but a couple things you do want to read so you don't take too much damage. As soon as you start taking too much damage, then you do start kind of getting nervous about taking an Escape death. Both these players have plenty of hearts. I don't even think with a disastrous back here that anything could really happen. Chelsea getting good key rat RNG, but then the key rat evading.
It really looked like the sword went through the rat. I don't know how that missed.
You're always surprised, I think, when the key rat ends up coming straight towards you on the bottom like that, and so sometimes you're not quite prepared yet, but no big deal. Both of them are going to get through here.
So I don't know. We'll see later in the run exactly what set of safeties these runners go for, but I feel very confident that they're both going to be getting Sanctuary Heart. Omelet accidentally getting the DLC text. If you hold right out of that door, you can sneak right under the trigger for that text box, but he held down instead. Both players making it through escape. Pretty similar times. I didn't catch Omelets exactly, but pretty similar times, similar heart values, everything basically on track here.
I think they were both right at 6:01. So I think they're basically almost dead even on their timers here. And yes, I do agree. They were both going to be picking up Sankart. Unless your name is Lanxian, you're picking up Sankart in the tournament.
I think Andy's been skipping it too.
And Andy, but you know, he's in a category all by himself. So Eastern Palace Overworld, one of the most annoying overworld sections of the game, just for how stupid it can be sometimes. Gonna get a field of Octoroks here that Chelsea's gonna have to navigate through, not getting shot. One boom is not so bad here, and she's through. Nice.
It's really easy to run into an Octorok or take a rock or two.
The temptation to just hold down is very dangerous.
This Eastern Palace Overworld screen is a surprisingly difficult screen to get through fast and safe. This Octorok next to the statue is frequently a jerk.
Yeah, I've seen runners on multiple occasions take 3 hearts of damage just on this screen, forgetting even the previous screens of the overworld. Like, it can go wrong and go wrong fast, but both players are going to make it in with full health, so that's always a good sign.
You love to see it. We're coming up here in a second in the Stalfos room, where when Link touches a certain part of the room, I think you have to cross it horizontally or something. I don't actually know how it works. He spawns 4 Stalfoses sort of cardinally around him, and we sort of trick them into spawning in places where they're not allowed to spawn. So you see Chelsea killed 2. You never actually see the enemies in this room if it goes well, just the puffs of their dying. Both of them threw really nicely.
I was really hoping you were going to explain how the room worked so I could actually learn, because I just know how to move through it. I don't actually know the rules.
There's some coordinates on the ground where once you enter them, the Stalfoses spawn cardinally around Link, so like 1 to his left, 1 to his right, whatever. And we're trying to spawn them so that one of them lands on the pot in the middle, and so it doesn't actually spawn, and the other one lands like inside the door above you. But I don't know exactly how the trigger on the ground works. But I know how to move most days. Omelet skipping the red rupee there. I'm assuming that he, and probably Chelsea also, does Saha rupees, in which case picking up rupees in Eastern is not as important. Oh, having a little bit of trouble getting the pot picked up. Okay, well, Omelet's gonna have to be real careful here. Maybe we'll go back for that heart. Nope.
It's so well guarded at this point. Okay, he is going to go, but it's tricky to get there without getting killed here. This is a little dangerous.
Okay.
He's just going to abandon it, but still in a dangerous spot here with half a heart.
If he can get through Gifted with Greenies, he can probably get the one in the Annie Fairy room, have a little bit of safety.
So easy to die in this dungeon, even when you're on a heart and a half like Chelsea is. Not a safe back part of the dungeon.
Oh yeah, it's super easy to walk into an Annie Fairy or an Igor, and then suddenly you're an Oko from everything in the rest of the dungeon.
Not to mention how much... Okay, good. Very good knowledge there, knowing that there's an extra heart there, although it walks into a Popo in the dark. But being on 1 heart is much better than being on half a heart. You can still get one shot by a couple of these guys here, especially these anti-fairies, but you're not going to die to a stray boulder or taking a bop from one of the Stalfos or something stupid like that, so a little more comfortable. Oh, Chelsea getting chased down a little bit.
Well, at least it was a 2-cycle instead of a death. Although I guess she had 1.5 hearts, would have been fine. Coming up on Armos here. Chelsea opting for top right strat. Pretty standard strat. Oh, takes a hit.
It's bopped a little bit. Probably gonna get a red Armos here, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, and she killed the last one, second to last, so she didn't have to waste any arrows there, which was nice. Not a terrible way for the fight to go if it's going to go wrong. Omelet getting through, executing the quick kill correctly.
Very nice fight there from Omelet.
Making our way to talk to, depending on who you ask, an elf or a cowboy. Who, because we have killed Armos and collected the green pendant, will give us the best item in the game.
I gotta be honest, can't see the cowboy.
Well, it's a bald head and the ears are all the same sort of tan color. Kind of looks like a cowboy hat.
This is like one of those magic eye things. It's not gonna click for me yet, but maybe if I look at it long enough later, it will. We see Omelet's picking up the Saha rupees. Chelsea actually not gonna do it, so she's gonna do the tree pull method.
Oh, okay.
For pod money. Omelet's also picking up the bombs here. He'll have a couple extra bombs. Not sure if he will be using those on Landmo, but not a terrible thing in a tournament. Just have extra bombs, even if that's not the normal strat that he does, and maybe it is the normal strat that he does.
Yeah, so the tree rupees saves about 4 seconds, I guess, based on some timing that we found recently. But it's a little bit more difficult to do, and we'll see that it's going to look like Chelsea's a lot ahead in this split, but she's going to have to spend most of that time back in the Agate Tower split later.
It saves surprisingly little time, honestly.
Yeah. I think it's really fun, but it's totally skippable if you're not feeling like doing it.
Yeah, like most things in this game,
Yeah.
the completely optimal strat is usually not going to be a barrier for you to achieve any goal in this game. But yeah, it is the optimal strat doing the tree pull, but lots more can go wrong doing the tree pull than just grabbing the rupees at Sahasrahla.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got our desert overworld mostly complete at this point. Runners have been doing a pretty good job with their spin speeds and their movement. As I say that, Chelsea bonks right into the front of desert. No one has ever bonked there before. Pretty much any screen in this game where you can bonk, someone has bonked previously. So you can at least rest easy knowing you're never going to be the first one.
Wow, Chelsea, an iconoclast, taking the right path around the tablet instead
Yeah,
of the
it's
left.
very, very uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable watching that.
Omelet, instead of bonking there, he cancels his dash very early, which is, you know, less reward, less risk.
Oh, it gets the second
mash
read,
A.
though. That also is fairly common if you actually just mash. You don't have to mash that much longer than the minimum that you need to accidentally get that second read in there. At least he didn't trigger the whole reading thing again, though, which I have seen before.
Oh, he opted to spin that guy. I wasn't watching Chelsea's screen, but you can do a slightly faster strat there where you double poke him and dash through the Sarlacc guy. Bonking the big key chest as is tradition. Omelet opting to get that arrow pot on the way down. I think that's a tiny bit slower than getting it on the way back.
Definitely slower, and definitely not much slower, but yeah. Tiny bit more out of your way. Had a little bit of bad luck. Didn't get the dash immediately to the right, and basically have a 50-50 chance of missing that second Popo if you're not quick enough with your dash to the right in this room. And the Popo moved down, and he had to go chase him. Lost a half a heart, not a big deal. A couple seconds lost as well.
The streams that when it goes well, it kind of just looks like nothing's happening. Like you just slash a guy in the dash and it's whatever. But you have to actually be pretty tight on your timing for it to go normally.
Very comfortable 30 arrow count for Omelet going into Landmo. Chelsea will have 25. She may opt for the pre-Landmo arrows. Not the worst tournament. Not even really a backup, but not the worst idea to just have the maximum arrows in a tournament. You know, you never know what your arrow drops are going to look like later in the game.
Yeah, I think that I think I would recommend it. Like, I think in her position, I would probably get them.
I didn't pay attention to the drops you get in Eastern. Sometimes you know if you're likely to miss the arrow drop in Hera, and you might be more inclined to get the arrows here, but certainly not a big deal if she does skip them, which it looks like she's going to do. 25 is plenty of arrows, and only in the worst instances of drop RNG will she need to go out of her way for arrows in GT or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the realistic downside is you have to do slower strats in Aghanim's Tower. Not that big a deal.
Really good first cycle there for Chelsea on Landmo.
Oh, getting hit
Gets
right
bullied a little bit,
out.
yeah. Oh, it's so annoying to try and time that when you can't see the worm very well. I have a lot of trouble timing out of the ground, but that was a very nice fight from Chelsea. She's just one arrow away from a 3 cycle.
Yeah, that was very nice. Kind of got robbed of the 3 a little bit, both by getting hit in the second cycle on one of those shots, and then by a pretty awkward way for the worm to jump in the 4th cycle. Omelet not getting quite as much damage on the 1st cycle. Not getting your damage in on the 1st cycle is so painful in this fight. You have so much more control at the beginning than at any other point.
I like a lot of Omelet's setups here. He's not doing a bad job. He's gotten a couple worms synced up, which is always miserable and kind of leads to some indecision, but his setups have been pretty good. He's down to a half heart, though, and he's got 2 worms alive, so he needs to be a little bit careful, standing far away on these. I think he just needs 1 hit on both.
Uh-oh, I feel like we've got some spoilers in chat from Chelsea.
Omelet takes the death. And Chelsea's through. She's got her fake flipper going.
Okay.
Chelsea doesn't have her fake flipper going.
Well,
she is allowed under tournament rules to save and quit in this one instance. So it's okay. Well, it's relatively okay. 2 disasters on both sides here. Omelet taking the death at Landmo, which does happen. The longer that fight goes on and the more synced up the worms get, the more dangerous it becomes.
She's running back to fake flippers. She's not going north.
That's okay. This is allowed as well.
It is allowed, but oh my god.
You can't let the fake flipper screen win. I mean, you gotta assert your dominance here.
Omelet now unfortunately has 13 arrows going into this fight, which makes it impossible. So good luck.
Okay.
Chelsea's I know how to get there. I practiced my West Side Breeze going into this tournament. Thank you very much.
I have literally no idea how to do it correctly. I know which screens to go on.
No, you don't have to go back to where you died from. You only have to just save and quit to Link's house. Alright, not a bad Landmo refight, especially given that he ran out of arrows before all the worms were dead.
Yeah, a very weird refight that almost will never happen, because almost at all skill levels, a death at Landmo would be a reset. So it's one of those very unfamiliar, what do I even do here situations.
Yeah.
In tournament, obviously, you're going to go back and kill Landmo, so no real choice there. He's going to have to pick up probably every spare arrow that he knows of from here until the end of the game, just to get back to a respectable arrow count or an arrow count that's workable. Hopefully he'll get a little bit lucky and get a drop or 2 here. Hopefully Chelsea can get up the mountain without any more damage. She is starting at a reduced heart count from the save and quit. I don't think she picked up the extra hearts in Link's house, since she's on 3.5 here. Or she just had a lot worse luck than I was paying attention to.
Yeah. Hera with 2.5 hearts is not a lot of fun.
We were so close to another fake flipper disaster there, but Omelet is through.
Two and a half hearts in Hera also is at this awkward point where if you had half a heart here, you could take a death warp somewhere and refill, but alright, well now maybe she'll consider it.
Yeah, it's very legitimate to, you know, like, if the runner is on half a heart, it's an easy decision. 1.5 hearts, kind of on the fence, and like you said, that 2.5, 3 heart range is... It's enough to finish the dungeon most times, but a death upstairs costs you so much more than taking the death intentionally and getting a little bit of a refill for upstairs. We'll see what Chelsea decides to do. Omelet's gonna get Dead Rock blocked here on his way to return the old man. You hate to see it. He may pop in the cave here and take a refill from the old man after the cutscene.
Oh, opting to brave it.
That's also fine. If he as long as he gets into Hera, he can... Oh gosh, we're in a bad spot here. Okay.
Okay.
That's all right. He's gonna go right back to the old man. It's not a friendly place, Death Mountain, and we're seeing why from both these runners. The number of things that can go wrong in this speed run, it's actually incredible.
It really is. Also, Omelet, of course, on the run back gets absolutely perfect Death Mountain RNG. It's never the first time, though.
Not ever. Chelsea did hit the switch there to be able to avail herself of some hearts upstairs, provided she makes it through the most annoying screen in Hera, this petting zoo area where all of these Moldorms are out to get you. The slash and bonk method, which is actually going out of style these days. Love to see it from Chelsea.
I'm a huge evangelist of the spin strats, personally. Ooh, nice juke on that.
I don't think I'm allowed to say what I think of the spin strats live on stream. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that we can't all EBJ everywhere like you.
Well, Omelet's getting a little... the Moldorms are not being kind to him.
Good lord. Maybe he'll be death warping out of the basement. Hope he doesn't get bullied too badly.
Yeah, there are more Moldorms in between him and the big key, unfortunately. Chelsea off to a good start here. One more hit, and oh, that was actually the proper strat, I would say, that what she went for there, and maybe it was just frames off of getting a damage hit on Moldorm before he booted her.
Moldorm is a very difficult fight. Oh no. Keep getting messages from Chelsea that are slightly cryptic, but I'm worried means she's fallen again. Okay.
Nope,
no,
she got that one. Moldorm is a very fun fight, and also very frustrating at the same time.
It's very fun in practice, not so much when you're trying to do it fast in runs.
Here's the key. Just never have a good desert pace. So if Moldorm is mean to you, it's not really the end of the world. It's really unfortunate when you're on a good pace, you get to Moldorm, and he bullies you off the edge or something.
Yeah. Omelet, by the way, did take the death warp out of torches.
Yeah, very smart. I would say for anybody in this tournament at whatever your skill level, half a heart in the basement of Hera is probably going to just be an automatic death warp. It just makes way too much sense.
Yeah. The alternative is counting on your ability to get the heart in the petting zoo without dying, which is like, I don't know, 3% chance of being possible.
If you need it, yeah, it's probably less than 3%. Sometimes you just autopilot to that pot, and that's when you have 4 hearts already, and the Moldorms are completely being kind to you.
Chelsea going for tree rupees, which are you pull on these trees based on how many enemies you've killed and how many hits, or well, whether or not you've taken a hit since the last time you pulled on a tree. You get either greens, blues, or reds. So she's killing some enemies here and being very careful not to take any hits, so that she'll get reds on her way out with the Master Sword. This is slightly faster than the back of Sahasrala's hut that we saw Omelet get earlier, but if you get hit, kind of all falls apart. The backups aren't that bad, but it's really easy to get hit during the backup, and then what's the backup to the backup, and then you just start feeling really bad.
Typically in this game, the backup to the backup is the reset button, but yeah, not
Yeah.
not an applicable strat in this situation. I just want to shout out Omelet's bomb jump strat. He went with sort of a strat you normally see out of a lot of rando players, backing up to the hole, placing his bomb, and then bonking off the side. Well, he's trying to hunt down this Moldorm, and it's not going. Moldorm is not coming out of his hole. There we go. All right, very nice. Wait wins the battle of patience, but
I admire the willingness to say, I'm just going to have a slow Moldorm fight there where I don't fall down instead of trying to chase him in the left side where you just always fall down.
it's very tempting. Chelsea notably not picking up the mushroom there, or did she pick it up on the way to the Master Sword? I
think she just skipped it, but I could be wrong.
I didn't think. Typically you get it on the way back. Some players will pick it up on the way too. I don't think she did. Notable in that is probably the safety that sticks around for players the longest. Players have carried the mushroom and not the powder necessarily, but the mushroom into the mid 120s with plenty of success. It's only a couple seconds to pick up the mushroom. You can fake powder later on in the game if you need to. So no powder, no fake powder for Chelsea in this run. I don't know if it's something she normally picks up or not. It is a common safety at a lot of levels of the game. So notable that she was skipping it.
FSG famously recently got a mid 124 PB with the mushroom. We don't need to point out that it was entirely by accident.
No, imagine picking up the mushroom by accident. No one would ever, and by no one I mean everybody once. Almost a very nice prize bag guard room there for Chelsea, nipping her room to not get any drops from those two enemies, and then unfortunately the chest I think pushed her to a bad pixel, and she got the non-key dash.
Yeah, sometimes you're inside, too deep inside the chest when it spawns for it to push you out or something. I don't really know how it works. We're getting bullied by this.
Worst room of Agate Tower here.
Oh yeah, easily.
Agate Tower is a very fun little mid-game gauntlet, kind of mini gauntlet, I suppose. A bunch of tight execution rooms right in a row. Right
nice.
kind of at the middle of the run, end of the light world, and then culminating in the dumbest boss of the game.
Yeah, no contest. It is really fun though. There's sort of a reprise later in Ganon's Tower. Both of those sections of the game are really fun. They're like a lot of strats, a lot of RNG, really fast-paced, fun dungeons to do. Omelet did pick up the mushroom, by the way. I don't remember if I said that out loud or just thought it. Showing us off on Omelet's side why we don't go for the optimal strat in that room, because it never actually saves time.
I don't think I've ever tried it. I do not like it.
I tried it in practice once, and I spent like 10 minutes, and I actually saved time like twice, and I decided it's not for me.
Not a fan either on this side.
Oh, Omelet does not... I don't know what he's going to do about arrows in the rest of this dungeon. You need at least 6 arrows in pod. You can get the arrows in pod if you have to, but there's no fast arrows in pod. So he can only spend 2 more in here, which means that he's going to have to not do something fast. I guess we'll see what he decides.
Yeah, just an unfortunate reality of coming in here with well, he picked up 5 on the way, but entering this split with 0 arrows, just not really any good options for him. As far as arrow usage, you use a bunch of arrows in this dungeon, and like you said, you want to leave Agate Tower with 6 at the minimum, and then you still pretty much want to get an arrow drop while you're in pod, even if you are only on 6, because arrows are very in demand later on. Not a lot of fast places to pick them up. Really, the fastest place to get arrows at any point is through just RNG drops. And those are not going to work out every time.
Yeah, all the fast arrows are in Eastern and Desert and drops, basically. With very few exceptions. Uh-oh. Alright. Okay, well... As somebody pointed out in chat earlier, he's not been playing this game very long. It's very easy. Knowing exactly how many arrows you need at different parts of the game is something that comes with time. It's not like he won't be able to progress. He'll just realize later that he needs arrows and scramble to find them, probably. Chelsea, I wasn't watching. I saw at least 2 blue balls on her side. Did anyone catch the actual count?
I'm not even going to hazard an attempt at doing math on stream, so I'm going to leave that completely in Chelsea's hands. Or in chat's hands. Chat? Chelsea? It's late at night. Apparently,
oh my gosh,
I'm gonna.
omelet is at half a heart now.
Ooh.
That was so
That
close to
was-
getting 1.0'd.
Oh no! No! He was rightfully trying to take it easy because that's a very dangerous guard at the end of that bridge, and he wanted to boom him and just
Oh,
tapped right a little bit too hard.
I hate to see it.
The red guards upstairs can stack up damage on you so quickly, and that's what happened. He actually got a couple good heart drops too from those guards, but like when those rooms go badly, they just suddenly you've lost 3 or 4 hearts and you're not even sure how many times you even got hit. It's just it spirals out of control very quickly. It's just one of those hard parts of the game. Very good job remembering he doesn't have to go to the chest in this room though,
I
because
didn't realize that until he took the right path.
that is
Where's he
actually
going?
very hard to remember when you're redoing Agate Tower.
Yeah, it's easy because we have really good strats for most of these rooms. It's easy to make it look like the guards are kind of chumps that you can just destroy. But if you ever have to actually get in like an unscripted sparring match with one, you're probably going to lose a couple hearts. Oh, he forgot that he has this key.
Okay, you remember the chest but forgot the guard, but 50% is still pretty good.
Unfortunately, struggling a little bit with the spear guards again, but gets through.
It's very tough when you are at the early stages of speedrunning or even just playing this game. You don't fight those guards or those enemies in very many places. So you are very unfamiliar with how they move because the only time you encounter them is here in the Agate Tower split, as opposed to other enemies that show up in a bunch of other splits in different places that you're much more used to encountering. So when something goes wrong in a room with those guards and you're not super familiar with how they move, it's very easy to lose a bunch of hearts to them.
Chelsea, meanwhile, dropping through the left side of that bridge for absolutely no reason, except I guess she hates frames.
It looks like it's safer from the bomb, but the bomb explodes in a square pattern, so if you're safe on the left side, you're safe on the right side. There's going to be a little issue for Omelet. We said it's not a big deal about arrows, but he will need to hit the switch 1 time in pod, and he has 0 arrows right now. So hopefully he knows about the drop-down arrows and can grab those.
Yeah. I don't even know what else you would do. Like if you forget on your way there. You won't have beams anymore. I don't know what you hit it with. Hopefully he remembers the drop down.
Yeah. So
If you're watching the restream, there's 2 pots on your way to the big key.
Chelsea just 1 pixel off. I think she's got it now. Very nice.
Hammer up. It's a very difficult pixel perfect trick on a timer, so we use the pause menu because the tiles don't fall while we're pausing, so it allows us to make small movements, check if we got the exact small movement that we want to get in place in time.
Yeah, so this switch that Chelsea is about to shoot with an arrow is the switch that Omelet is going to have to shoot with, hopefully, an arrow that he picks up from the pod when he is there.
Do we
Otherwise,
know, actually, if he does hammer up? Not every 137 player does.
That is a good question. I did see him practicing the hammer jump prior to the match starting. I'm not sure if that was a, hey, let's see if I can go for this today or not.
Mostly opting to pick up some arrows there. I don't think that those are optimal arrows, but if you're in a race and you just want to make sure you don't run out later, very reasonable. Especially depending on how you handle Helmasaur, having arrows is safer for some people if it's something you practiced a little bit. So it might be nice to have as a backup in case things go wrong in there.
Yeah, as much as we talked about arrows really being inconvenient and out of your way in the Dark World, realistically, there are a bunch of arrows that are only a second or a second and a half out of your way. So in a tournament race, and if you're not comfortable with your arrow count and you want to pick all of them up, you're not going to lose that much time. So it's not a big deal if you're stopping and grabbing a pot like she did there.
Yeah, when we talk about slow arrows, it's because they cost 60 frames, and we would really rather only spend 38 frames or whatever. Coming up on Helmasaur here, we're going to see if she does the cool new... I don't know how new it is anymore, but it still feels new to me. If you do a spin speed, a spin dash in here, you can turn your hammer hitbox... Yeah, oh, she went for it. You can make it so that the hammer hitbox, which sucks while you're facing upwards, you can make it turn into the dashing hitbox instead, which is like a lot better. It makes getting damage in on Helmasaur a million times easier. Took a few tries there because spin speed is impossible. But yeah, you can see how...
Okay,
oh,
okay, we're 1 hit. Oh, this
gosh.
is fine. We are fine.
Okay,
Totally safe. Nobody panicked, especially not Chelsea. Everyone's fine.
Yeah, you can see at the end there she was reasonably far away from Helmasaur and still managed to hit it with the hammer. Which was what I was trying to say before I had like 3 heart attacks in a row.
Yes, nothing has ever gone wrong on Helmasaur before. But yeah, it's always very awkward. It's a great strat, the spin speed strat, and most players, once it was discovered, had immediately put it into their runs. But when you miss that first spin speed, it becomes very awkward. Your timing is off. You're very used to being able to do your hammer hits at specific points of his movement, and he's going to move into his next phase, when you are prepared for that. And as soon as you miss that first spin speed, it throws everything off. So the fight sometimes goes like that when you don't get that first spin speed, even if you do successfully retry like she did. But having that extra hit, Sankheart, shout outs to Sankheart, she survives to go to Thieves Town.
Omelet also falling on the wrong side of the bridge.
Well,
Oh,
hopefully he
Chelsea.
gets the arrows here. Okay, he
nice.
is aware. Grabbing the arrows, good work.
Chelsea dashing into a Ropa that was in an unfortunate position.
This screen filled with lotteries. Thieves Town is a dungeon, a split really, that both has lots of damage potential, and there's 3 more hearts. Lots of damage potential, and also somehow a split that you finish at full health a lot. So being on low health is both bad and maybe not bad. We'll see how the rest of the split goes. Chelsea would very much like to get into Thieves Town before taking any more damage. And you could even maybe bonk a tree and grab some apples. We might see some apples after activating our flute.
Thieves Town is not the worst place to take damage. You don't like need beams for anything. You're not doing any damage boosts. It can kind of. There's a bunch of enemies that do 2 hearts of damage and have a lot of RNG, so it definitely can kill you. But like, there's worse places to take damage on the overworld. But taking 5 hearts of damage is not really fun anywhere.
Just want to shout out Omelet for indeed going and successfully getting the hammer jump. A couple extra buffers, but it was very nicely done. He knows he's clearly got some good visuals for it because when he was on the right pixel, he knew, and when he wasn't, he also knew. And those are the 2 big keys for hammer jump.
Oh yeah, and 2 bombs.
And
Very
2
nice.
bombs. Yeah, that's true. It just looks so correct when I see it like that. So it wasn't even noteworthy. But yes, a lot of people will start with the 1 bomb version. 2 bombs, slightly better, but a lot harder for a newer player. So very nicely done by Omelet there.
Yeah, if you do 2 bombs, you blow up the wall earlier, but you have a lot less time to get in the second position. And remembering to pick up another arrow pot there. Excellent. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah, Omelet has looked very good at a lot of this so far, considering his PB. So he's clearly put a lot of time in a short period of time into the game. And if he, we're not gonna make it to the apple screen. we're getting hearts. We might not get apples now. We're gonna get both. Okay, full health. Nothing has gone wrong on the Thieves Overworld, which is typical for the Thieves Overworld.
Uh-oh, Lonely Turtle warning.
Yeah, I didn't see if it got pushed, but he was definitely still on his feet when the switch got flicked, so we might see a turtle in the next room here on Omelet's side.
Omelet has shown off some impressive knowledge so far. We'll see if this happens. We'll see if he's prepared.
Oh, no turtle there.
Chelsea going for a reckless bush dash.
Hey, optimal is optimal.
Sorry, what I meant was an optimal skull bush farm.
No spin speed on Omelet's side. He's just gonna do sword out, at least for this stage of Helma. Did take 1 hit. Got the mask off.
Oh, missed this.
Oh, he's got the bad spot for Helma, though. He's gonna have to take a hit here from the tail, and then hope. No, from off screen. Not fair, Helma. Not fair.
That was really rude RNG.
Yeah, getting the bottom wall Helma there is just so bad because you're not gonna be able to get any damage in unless you already got a spin charged, and then the off-screen fireball is going to kill players of all skill levels because there's no real way to be prepared for it.
The thing about Helma is there's no way to be safe in that room while Helmasaur is still alive, which is one of the reasons why the new spin speed strat is just so good, is that it increases your DPS, which means you're on screen with Helmasaur for less time. Because you can't hide anywhere, he can just beat you up.
Yeah, it's also unfortunately one of those fights that if you are doing it slower and safer, it is more likely for Helmasaur to get in that bad spot that he was in. If you do all your hammer hits to break his mask optimally, he'll never be on the bottom like that to pin you. If you have to slow down or take it safe, or you take a hit for any reason, that's when he can get in a bad spot and just kind of pin you to the wall or make it so that you can't hit him. And it's a tough fight. It doesn't matter how good you get at the game, you're gonna die to Helmasaur sometimes, and it's no fun. It's just not a fun death. It's about 2 minutes of time lost. You gotta go all the way back to the dungeon. You gotta fight him again. It's not uncommon for people to die multiple times there. So hopefully Alma gets it the second time. Some revenge.
Chelsea, meanwhile, having a good thieves. The attic room was a little weird, but the bomb managed to blow up the attic in midair, which was nice of it. Otherwise, been pretty smooth. The overworld was a problem, but the dungeon has been pretty good so far. You guys may have remembered about 40 minutes ago we rescued a maiden in a cell, and that one went well, so we're pretty sure that this time it's going to be all roses. She's going to be our new friend, our new traveling companion across Hyrule. Definitely nothing sinister going on. Oh my god, how did that not hit? Okay. Oh my gosh, okay, made it through. 1 heart, but we made it through.
Helmasaur is just not fun. It's just not fun, even when he dies. He's still got to give us this. But yeah, he got a somewhat worse RNG in that fight. Honestly, got double fireball, and even when you try and take it safe, it's not like you said. If Helmasaur's alive, the safest way to not take damage on Helmasaur is to just kill him really fast, and that's just not always an option. So. Good for Amla getting the kill on the refight. We got Chelsea here in the blind fight, and she looks like she's on script so far. And what was, like you said, a very good dungeon for her after a little bit of adventure on the overworld. Spins here, but not a big deal.
Oh, very good recovery for this spin.
Didn't even take damage. That was perfect.
Scripted, you might say.
Oh, but then the crystal breaks, falling onto the ground. You hate to see it.
So, Chelsea is now about a dungeon ahead, which is quite a substantial lead. Things can still happen in this race, though. We've already seen a couple deaths. There's a lot of expensive deaths that can happen to keep this race exciting. She's gonna first destroy and loot someone's property, their shed or whatever, and then kidnap a frog and take him to the light world and extort him to make her sword more powerful. I haven't played the game in English for a long time, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on.
If it's not, it's canon now, so. Yeah, I don't know who's really going to make much use of that money in that sealed compartment there in the Village of Outcasts, though. Not a lot of... I don't know what the Dark World Hyrule economy is like at this point, but little stimulus check for Link as he's going to go make a new sword and buy some flippers later.
I mean, you can gamble, certainly, and I'm pretty sure you can buy like a shield and a potion and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just not sure the laws of supply and demand really apply, since not seeing a lot of potential customers out here for some of these shops.
Oh wow, I thought Omelette was going to do a no spin speed strat on this screen, which would have been really interesting. But I think he just forgot that he was in the Dark World version of it. You go on that screen twice, and it's really easy to mix them up.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what the non-spin speed version of that screen is, because
it's a disaster.
It can't
so
be good.
Slow.
It can't be good. That is a almost mandatory spin speed screen. I'm almost gonna pick up a bottle and a handy bug net here. Good safeties to have. Very quick, also not really that far out of your way relative to the safety that they buy you.
The Hundo spin speed strat is really cool, actually.
Appears like Omelet will also be picking up his powder here after this flute activation, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to do all of his shopping, which is a popular way to do it these days. You have to you have to pick up a handful of items, and it's common for new players these days to do all of them right now, so that if you take any hits, you can get powder at the end and get a hard refill from the witch's assistant. But some players opt to just do a more normal route for the rest of their shopping. We see him going to Death Mountain.
Unless he's lost, I think he's doing all of his shopping.
Chelsea on that delightful 2 pixels away from a statue where Link grabs it but won't actually pull it if you pull away.
He ended up pulling it to a very nice height there, but since it was such a late pull down, she does get a little bit of trouble. Did get an arrow drop for her troubles though, so I don't know. An arrow drop for a couple hearts, probably not worth it, but you'll take it as a consolation prize.
It's worth it depending on how confident you are in your moth fight, basically.
Yes. We'll also see what kind of strategy she uses for the bomb jump and whether she takes the extra heart by jumping back in the pit post fire rod.
I would guess that she'll hop over, but we'll see. Bonk over.
Yeah, 5 hearts, much better than 4 hearts.
Yeah. A lot of
have
things
to remember to not lose 2 hearts right here, though, which does happen. Okay, good. Depending on your muscle memory, it's very easy to just kind of walk right into that Ropa that is normally not going to do damage because you've got iframes, but...
Yeah, it's a really fun way to go out of your way to save 1 heart and then just take 2 instantly. Showing off a little bit of knowledge on that pot key pickup. You do a neutral dash in that room, and then pause. When you get past the spike, you can read what pixel you're on and know exactly if you need to hold up or up left to get to the pot. Handling that really nicely. Getting the key dash, the fire snake behaving, everything's just going smoothly.
Picking up the right pot, Chelsea.
Fool.
Heck yeah.
Uh-oh, 3 hearts.
Getting mummies a little bit. Look like she was going for a safer strat, but didn't fire rod one of the last mummies there, so kind of an in-between safe strat. Gonna have 3 hearts for Moth, which isn't fun. She's gonna have 4 hearts for Moth. Nope, she's gonna have 3 hearts for Moth, which isn't fun. Classic, go out of your way for a heart and lose a heart.
Yep.
Taunting the Wallmaster there by delaying a little bit. Good start to her fight. Going for a poke dash. Very nice. Oh, she just needed 1 more slash, but she'll go with 2 fire rods.
That worked out really well. The slash would have killed right there, but, it's a really tough fight if you're scared at all. She was probably thinking, don't touch me, more than she was thinking, I need to get another slash in.
Very nicely executed, though. The poke dash on Moth looks a lot harder than it is. It's really just kind of get close and jam that A button. But when you're only 1 or 2 hits from death, it's sometimes kind of scary to even go for. She committed to it right away, got a poke dash very nice, and popped him off the wall exactly like you want him to do.
Yeah, the problem with the poke dash is it's not that it's difficult to execute, it's that sometimes the conveyors just screw you and then you're in a really bad position.
I think a lot of players who do go for the poke dashes will kind of evaluate their health situation pre-fight and decide, am I going for any poke dashes or am I just going to slash him to death? And sometimes it's what he gives you, that's what you want to work with. But like a lot of things in this game, especially the boss fights, that fight is easy the faster you do it. The faster Moth dies, the less dangerous the fight is. If you go in there and try to play it safe and let a bunch of spikes start moving, you're going to have a bad time. So, very nice. Even on low health, you want to get him killed as fast as possible. It's sort of hard to convince yourself to commit to that. Oh, I had the opportunity to go for the shield block, but just walks off the screen instead. That's fine. Yoho would approve.
You miss out on the swag points of going for the turnaround block. I did want to point out, since we have her audio on, you can see her playing the flute in sort of a random place on the way there. And while people do like to play the flute in random places for swag, that one's actually to set up a fire rod shot earlier. Playing the flute affects where the splash damage from the fire rod will hit vertically offset from the regular fire rod flame. So this will allow us to do the first room of ice faster, which sounds a little preposterous if you've never heard about Spooky before, but it really does work, and it saves a few frames in there. And more than saving frames, actually, it just makes it a lot easier.
Omelet did a very nice job up there in Thieves. Went upstairs with just 2 hearts, like the most dangerous place to go to in the game with only 2 hearts, and did not die. And then, unable to catch that. That is a surprisingly hard anti-fairy to pin down with your powder. Surprisingly hard. So,
eating that Zora on Chelsea's side.
Yeah, wow. Just get out of here. So unfortunately, the deaths continue for Omelet. He did do a very good job avoiding death upstairs. It was very dangerous, navigating his way around the crickets, and especially knowing you're in Oko mode when you're up there. Not uncommon to take a death up there, which would have been much worse if he had taken a death before blowing up the ground or the bombable floor. Taking
Yeah,
a
this
death
sucks,
to
but
the anti-fairy
it's-
sucks, but not as bad.
Yeah, taking it in the attic is a lot more punishing. This way you get to do everyone's favorite room, the Hellway, again.
Oh, he looked like he was gonna get it, but I think he thought the fire snake was gonna block him there.
Yeah, I think he would have been fine, but like, I don't know.
Hard to make the call in the moment
Yeah, for
sometimes.
sure. Hopefully he can powder the anti-fairy successfully this time. There we go. Chelsea has obtained her finger webs, making her way to Ice Palace. Ice Palace is another dungeon where absolutely nothing ever goes wrong.
Never. There's almost nothing that can go wrong in this dungeon. Ooh, that splash damage. Let's go. Good discipline there from Chelsea to not slash that jelly, even though it looked like it was very much in her way.
Yeah, could have fire routed it, but saving the fire route shot also very legitimate.
We saw Omelet pick up a fairy there from the anti-fairy under the pot in the jail. So he's got a little bit of insurance if there are any more deaths in his future. Now, knowing how this run has gone, he's taken a few deaths. Now that he has the fairy, I'm sure he will have a deathless run from here on out. That is how this game works.
Let's hope. Chelsea going for 2 bomb strats in this room, which I really approve. I'm not going to
Go
call
on
it
the
out.
left. Go on the left side there again, just to tweak you a little bit more.
I see a lot of players going for 1 bomb in that room, which is actually less safe and harder. It does make your bomb routing easier, but it makes the room harder. So if you're getting Saha bombs, I really recommend.
Notably,
doing 2
Chelsea does
bombs.
only have 1 bomb here, so
Yeah, I guess she's confident in this, or she can hover.
okay, yeah, we're gonna get the hover. Let's go. Not an easy hover. Diagonal hovers, not easy at all. Man, that's a
Oh.
fast hover too. Wow.
Yeah. We do have the lol in chat, so I'm terrified that this is gonna end in tears.
This is now a not insignificant amount of damage that she has taken in this room.
Yep. There we go.
Safety map just to make sure that she's made it.
Probably to adjust grip or something, based on how long she was in that map. I don't
Playing
know
it,
if that's high.
playing it
Okay.
very safely to not get bopped off by this fire bar there. But she's through now. 5 hearts. She's gonna have 4 if she damage boosts through the spike. You don't want to have 4 hearts for Cold Stare.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm
she
guessing
won't
that
take
we're
the
gonna-
damage boost.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're gonna wait out the spike. We'll see.
Yeah, much smarter than taking that last heart of damage. I mean, 5 hearts, obviously, you can have full health when you go into Cold Stare and a disaster can still occur, but having more than 4 hearts at least gives you a tiny bit of insurance.
Oh, I didn't even notice there was Omelet in chat saying, "Alright, I'm warmed up now."
That's how we all feel sometimes at this point, Omelet. Don't worry. You get the bad out of the way before you can get to the good sometimes. Let's see what strategy Chelsea goes with here on Cold Stare.
Scared now. Okay. Pretty good single poke. Taking an icicle hit in the beginning. Threw off a little bit, but made it through to the end. The boss is dead and Link is alive. That's what counts.
There's 2 very important things to know on Cold Stare. Number 1, how to do it the same way every time, and also how to do it if something throws you off a little bit. So getting bopped by that icicle is bad. It's much worse if you're not really sure how to readjust and get back on your normal cycle, which she pretty much did. She also did a very good job of realizing that one of the puffs hadn't gotten all of the damage from the spins. Because it's not uncommon to not realize that all the puffs are not dead once you've done the double spin and just walk right into the one that's alive. So good job all around, just kind of paying attention to the fight. And even though it didn't go perfectly, you need to know how to recover those, and clearly she does.
Yeah, that's one of those things where when you're starting to get comfortable with the fight, eventually you're going to execute the single poke and then go turn your head to look at chat and see what people have been saying, and then turn around and the screen is red and you're like, Omelet, meanwhile, just got half magic here. He's picking up a pretty heavy roster of safeties to help get through the end game. We saw the bottle and net already. He's also got half magic. I'm assuming we're getting gold sword and silvers as well.
As a rando player at heart, half magic is so good. Like, it's just lovely. It's lovely to have. It
helps in 2 rooms, man.
It's so nice to have, though. It's just it's double the magic. That's incredible. Big shout outs to half magic.
Oh my god, shout outs to those
these bombers
being huge jerks.
This is not the All Dungeons tournament. What are you guys even doing here?
Remember when Rando used to have quarter magic?
That was also lovely. Yes, big fan. Bring them back. Think of all the refill frames you saved too with half magic. Come on. Both players getting the arrow drop here in the mummy room.
Pretty good mummy room from Omelet.
Yeah, it's perfect position. You see a lot of players pull that statue down too far, and it makes them a lot harder when you pull it down too far. And the way you can tell if you haven't pulled it down too far is when that mummy tries to get in from the right side and can't.
I don't remember there ever being a 1/8 magic. But
I think there is a 1/8 magic coded into the game, if I'm not mistaken, but it doesn't actually appear.
Yikes, Omelet is taking a lot of damage here. It's funny to get through mummy room without a scrape and then 4 hearts of damage after that, 5 hearts, whatever. That's not close enough, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's funny. It's not how he did the bomb jump in Harry. He did the same setup and then this. Yes, he did the slashes and then the bonks and.
Oh my gosh, that Moldorp.
Everything's fine. Probably gonna take a death warp here. Yep.
I hope not, because he has a fairy, but he did.
Oh no, that's true. Well, mistakes were made.
I don't know if he was trying to take a death warp there or if he just messed up.
That looked pretty intentional. I think he walked right into it. So.
Oh, also remembers to slash the Ropa. Smart. Both players walking out of there without iframes, and both players remembering. Yeah, you see that a lot in Rando, where players get a fairy in a bottle, and then go to Death Warp 10 minutes later, and are like, oh my god, you just see it on their faces.
Imagine making mistakes in Rando. I could never.
There's only one way to avoid that.
It's a hard one too, though, in Rando, because like you gotta pay attention to what you're getting in the bottles. Like that's just an extra layer of stuff to pay attention to. Both players doing right pot here in Skullwoods. You love to see it.
Stop doing right pot.
No, we're right pot. We're gonna convert everyone to right pot.
No, the left pot is the right pot.
Everyone in chat's gonna go and do it in their next run. They're gonna try it out. They're gonna be like, "Wow, look, this is really easy. Fox doesn't know what he's talking about."
I actually practiced it the other day. And it's like 6 frames faster, and I fail it like 1 in 15 times. It's not enough.
Freest strat in the game, I believe.
Chelsea having a pretty normal swap, by the way, except for the bombers on the overworld. She did remember to hit the switch. Somebody in this tournament forgot to hit the switch earlier. I forget who it was.
Oh no,
so
it's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling. Especially when you get all the way to the left side and then realize, like, we've all done that at least once. Terrible, terrible feeling.
Alright, Omelet making it through Moth without too much difficulty. You kind of get to spam the Fire Rod, which is not optimal, but with half magic you have a lot of extra shots. It doesn't do as much damage as the Tempered Sword, but you can stay a lot farther away, so it's easier to get through the fight. Yeah, I thought it was Chelsea. I didn't want to say it because I would sound like a huge jerk if I was wrong, but yeah, I thought so. I've lost a couple runs to forgetting to switch too. Happens to everyone.
Sick damage boost there for Chelsea through the water guy. Honestly, for taking a bunch of bombs on the Overwatch, she didn't take any damage until there in the dungeon, which is not too bad.
Yeah, this has been a pretty smooth sail in here. The arrow pot, pretty good arrow count, ammo count here.
Both players getting bullied on the bridge screen here by that spear guard. It's unfortunate. It's a pretty terrible screen, honestly, all around. Everyone hates it.
It's one of many screens where doing the thing that looks like it's obviously safe is actually terrible and you always get hit, and doing like totally counterintuitive weird movement is almost entirely safe.
Chelsea showing why swimming is the hardest thing in this game.
It's terrible.
She says she's going for the zero cycle, so let's see it, Chelsea.
Nice. Omelet, by the way, Louis dashing to avoid getting lotteried.
Going for the zero cycle, but we're not going for the zero cycle. I guess. I mean, didn't dash to the room. It's a prerequisite for going for the zero cycle.
Lol, JK. All right, you got us.
Got him. Got him.
Unfortunately, I think this is going to be a 2-cycle. It's not what you want to see in this boss. We are going for the top of the room fire rod kill. Almost got it.
I don't think I've ever even seen that.
I saw it for the first time earlier in this tournament, possibly from Chelsea. It is actually optimal. But yeah, nobody goes for it. Despite how much I complain about talking about crystal catches, killing Argus at the top of the screen actually saves you a few frames on the crystal catch.
Yeah, Argus, if you do the fire rod kill in phase 2 on the bottom, actually impossible to have an optimal crystal catch. But the solution to that problem is just don't do the fire rod kill in phase 2. Easy.
Yes, I, I approve of that message. Almost gonna be making his way into Ice Palace with not full hearts, which is very annoying. Also showing off swimming being impossible.
He does have far more bombs than Chelsea did coming in, though, so we may actually see an Ice Palace bomb jump from him.
Yeah, I expect to see an Ice Palace bomb jump from him, but I don't know. Maybe he lives with Tanweer and he'll hand Tanweer the controller. Alright, getting lucky there, the berry didn't electrocute.
That was great. Actually, none of the barriers electrocuted. Kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, beams there don't actually save that much time if the berries cooperate, I don't think, but they usually don't.
It was a pretty good Death Mountain climb here for Chelsea. She's coming up for her ether.
Oh, I just noticed for anyone in chat, Chelsea's split name for Meyer is Bird Toss is a bad meme.
Completely true.
I agree.
Oh, we're not going to see a bird toss if the bird is dead already.
Too late. Oh, that berry electrocuting in the
Man, that
last
guy is
frame.
the worst. Imagine having better timing than that Barry every time in this dungeon. All right, Omelet hopefully getting Ice Palace Bomb Jump here. It's on troublesome heart count. Looks good. Very nice. Gonna take the
I'm
damage
guessing he's going.
boost. Get through. He's fine.
I'm guessing he's going to powder the fairy above the cold stair drop down. Very nice mire too from Chelsea. Opting for a little bit of an easier, slower strat to get rid of all of the penguins and penguin lineup. Very reasonable. That room is way harder than it looks. Doing an easy strat in there makes a lot of sense to me. And then going for a super hard strat in Lonely Firebar. Sure.
Well, there's not a lot of downside to going for the hammers in there.
I guess that's true. Chelsea beating the fireball.
What a gamer. We'll see if Omelet does take the refill like you said. Yep, very nicely called by you.
I don't know if we'll see a refill or a catch. Yeah, just a catch. With full hearts and half magic, Cold Stare is about as unscary as he can be. Things can still go wrong, but getting to deal Fire Rod shots deal as much damage as the Tempered Sword, so you get to deal basically full damage from across the room, which is a lot safer. Going for a
Oh,
little bit of a
man,
hybrid
poke
strat
dash.
here.
That was pretty sick to see. You can see there's definitely a lot of refinement from Omelet. Text box just for the fun of it there. A lot of there's sections of his game that have a lot of refinement, and obviously just because he hasn't been playing the game that long, there's still some pieces that he's not super refined with, but he's showing skills well beyond his current PB in a lot of the harder areas of the run so far. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and there's definitely like a lot of knowledge too. It's clear that he's done his research and his hands haven't just caught up to all the stuff that he knows. That'll happen with time and practice.
Yeah, I mean most problems in this game are knowledge problems, and you just need time to accumulate all the knowledge, and that's how you get good. Disaster recovery is such a big part of being fast at this game, and actually that's been something Chelsea's been really good at in this run so far. Is things haven't gone perfectly, but she's got some very good adjustments in some of those spots, and that is as important, if not more important, than knowing the perfectly optimal way to do things.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that you can really tell comes from people who've played the game a lot. Even if they haven't, or maybe they played more rando, or they're not studying the speedrun super seriously or whatever. Just putting time in the game, you end up just like really building a lot of comfort with like, oh crap, something hit me and I didn't expect it to, and you don't just lose control of your hands. You can like keep playing and figure something out. Right, I guess we're not getting a bird toss from Omelet either, thank goodness. Chelsea getting Spooky just fine. We'll see Spooky 2 is the harder one. Gets that perfectly as well. She's for anyone who's unfamiliar with the speedrun, the Fire Rod splash damage is currently offset by a weird amount, which we manipulated using Flute. So it's hitting crystal switches that are off-screen in the first two cases, and then just like visible at the top of the screen, but you can't tell what's happening to it if you don't already know. Really nice fire too from Omelet.
Jeez. We walked into an eyeball a little too early there. This is one of those things we were talking about. Can we clean this up? I think she will be okay here with one.
Oh, that had more than one arrow left in it.
That's fine. We're still okay. Okay. Nicely done. Like we said, it's better to lose 15 seconds here and be able to clean it up than not and just lose 2 minutes. So.
Yep. It is worth noticing for anyone who maybe hasn't been following along or just got here with the Raiders or whatever. Welcome, Raiders, by the way. Omelet has not yet done Swamp, so he's going to have to do Swamp after this, while Chelsea is going to be heading straight to Turtle Rock. Actually, I don't think she has Ice Ride yet. But she's going to be heading to Turtle Rock next. So the gap is a little bit wider than it appears right here.
Yeah, the Gold Sword route will do Mire first, so that you can go straight from Swamp to the Pyramid Fairy.
Doing Swamp before Mire saves, I don't know, nothing, right? Like a few frames because you have the hook shot. It makes it a little easier, you have a little more life, but it doesn't really matter. But if you're getting Gold Sword and Silvers, doing Mire before Swamp saves quite a bit of time. It saves like a mirror and a flute and a bunch of walking and a screen transition and stuff. It's pretty mandatory if you want to get Gold and Silvers.
Yeah, anybody that's played any bit of Rando knows the feeling of finishing Swamp and going straight into Pyramid Fairy is always nice, and it's the same in the vanilla game too.
I wasn't watching closely, but it looked like Omelet just messed up Spark, Campbell, Skip, and still took the hit. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, sometimes it's something that's not a fully... I don't know if he goes for Spark Gamble normally, or... you're usually going for it if you do go for it. Sometimes you get blocked and you have to go around, but that going around part is not as firmly in your muscle memory sometimes, and can lead you to get hit by either the Fire Snake or something else. I think Chelsea just blocked herself. No, she's not blocked. It's okay. I like the approaching the dead rock, doubtful that you're going to get past, and getting past and kind of being surprised. It's funny how that can kind of come across in Link's movement, but I don't think she expected to be able to get by, but she's like, I'll try. Probably going to get stuck.
What else am I going to do for 9 seconds? Omelet taking a hit there, but pretty sure Spooky setup was fine.
You look good. So this is another aspect, like just knowing, going for Spooky at this level, honestly, is pretty impressive.
Yeah, for sure. The thing about Spooky is that it's not like that hard to set up, but it's really easy to take a ton of damage in Mire and need to powder something. And so a lot of players don't like bother. They don't want to like pressure themselves into having to get, like, feeling like they have to get Spooky. So they just don't start going for it until they're not having to powder in here very much. Taking some trouble in bad farm room. Luckily, there's an anti-fairy coming right up to powder. Interesting route.
I guess he knew that the anti-fairy wasn't... I thought the anti-fairy was just going to keep going around the room there, so... clearly he knew that he would be in position to get it. He's done that before. Hopefully he can have a good Viddy fight here.
Okay. Oh man, that last spin was so close to not being okay.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Whew.
Okay.
We're alright. Yeah, unfortunately this, I feel like I keep repeating myself, but another one of those fights where the optimal way to do it is as fast as possible. That strategy only works if your timings are tight enough that you're getting your D-boosts and your iframes right when you want to be getting them. And as soon as you're kind of a little bit too slow, and I don't know if Omelet was going purposefully a little safer, but it's just, it's not a strat that works when you're a little bit safer. Unfortunately, it's not really a good, like, safe way to do Viddy.
You either do the WQ strat correctly, or you just live in fear until all of the eyeballs are dead.
Yes, exactly. It's not a great boss fight for having like an optimal option versus a safe option. You basically just... Ooh, oh my god, we did get a block blast. That was sick.
Shout outs to Brahmin.
Just committed to it immediately. You'll love to see it. Imagine going for optional item dashes. Incredible.
Love optional item dashes, but I cannot make Block Blast work. I don't I don't understand how people do it.
I don't think I've ever done it successfully in a run, and I've probably only tried to do it once or twice. So
Never
I
done
can't
it.
answer that question for you.
If I get the RNG where Block Blast is the only thing to do, I'm just losing 4 seconds, and I'm okay with that.
Boy, I don't know how that spin didn't hit twice
Yeah,
there.
I don't know.
What?
Pokies, man.
Now this room is completely unfamiliar.
Yeah,
Just not sure what to do. It's filled with anti-fairies. This is not what the room normally looks like. What do I do? I felt that room through Chelsea. But her spin on the pokey did not look bad there. I'm surprised it was only one hit.
yeah, I was surprised too.
Feel like she got a little jobbed there, but 5.5 hearts is enough to be fine through the rest of the dungeon.
Unfortunately, it's not enough to get beams. Getting really fun Pokey 2 RNG. There's our fairy. Are we gonna get the magic too? Looks like we are. Yeah, I think that's a correct call.
Yeah, just to be safe.
Yeah, and without beams and without that magic, you have to skip a Samaria somewhere, which means you have to either not use one in Peg Maze or not use one for Laser Skip.
Except that she only used one Samaria block to get through chomps, so she would have been okay.
Alright, you're correct. Never mind. Take it all back.
Not math that we are usually doing ourselves, since we can't do that strat.
Nice to have 11.5 hearts going into the back part of TR, because everything continues to deal 4 damage. Laser Skip can go really wrong.
Yeah, not a place that. Oh,
See?
yeah.
Thanks for
easily
showing off. What I
nine hearts can disappear in a hurry on this screen. And then even though it rarely gets messed up, having a buffer on Trinex where you can take a hit is never a bad thing, so she got blocked herself there a little bit, just
I don't
a little
think
early
I've
coming
seen
out
a
of the
racer
dash.
get through the Peg Maze correctly yet.
I hate the cane dash strat there, and that's exactly why, because I cannot stop my cane dash even when I get first try cane dash. I can't stop Link on the peg. I don't know how people do it, but that's what it looks like when I try the strat too.
Backdoor strat's nice. Love to see it.
So far so good, looking very nice, easy.
No trouble. Oh, poke the head. Alright, made it through.
And that's why you want that extra health.
Yep.
Poor TGH.
Yes, but lucky us for that incredible comeback.
Oh, that was you posting that too. Incredible. All right, Chelsea is through T-Rock. She's gonna be on to GT. She's actually had a pretty solid run through the Dark
yeah.
World for most of it. Some adventures in Ice Palace, in one screen in particular, but other than that, very solid. Take this run in a tournament most times, as far as the quality goes. Like sometimes your time is bad, but your play was good, and she's something like 2 minutes over her PB, but has certainly not played that badly at all. Been impressed with a lot of stuff she does, and she's done some very hard strats and executed them very well too.
For sure. Definitely just a few things that cause outsized impact on the end time, despite just being small mistakes.
Very nice cancel into the cutscene here. Perfectly done.
She's also got 2 golds today.
Any
Really,
run
in
with the
the end-
gold is worth it.
Yeah. In the end, the golds are what really count. To get torch key, very respectable key choice.
Let's see what Omelet goes for here on Argus 2. He strikes me as somebody who'll be going for the 0 cycle, even at 137. Oh, no, okay. I'm wrong. Anytime I try to predict something, I'm usually wrong, so this is fine. I'm used to it. 0 cycle Argus, obviously not a high priority for someone learning the speedrun, nor should it be.
Having a little
Oh,
trouble.
God, this is
Last
the
off.
worst. Just can't hunt him down. And he gave him all short movements, too, to make it so hard to get around him. Classic Argus. Somehow spinning too early there. That was crazy. Looked like it would have been fine. Argus just feeling very slippery today for Omelet.
And the timing on when Argus is vulnerable after he lands is like pretty deceptive. GT basement looking pretty good here so far from Chelsea. Nice smooth bonk over the portal. Are we gonna dump bombs? Looks like no. Are we gonna do 9 arrow GT upstairs for the swag?
What could possibly go wrong?
I gotta say, if I were on Restream and I had the opportunity to do 9 hard GT upstairs, I know what I would do.
Here's the question. After the hovering experience in Ice Palace, will we be seeing any hovers upstairs in GT?
Oh yeah. Aw.
If you have never seen the Gold Sword route here in NMG, Omelet's going to show you as he's dashing over to the pyramid, following the completion. Oh, almost forgot something on the way to the pyramid, but we're going to get it.
I wonder if he'll go for a bomb dupe or if he's just gonna walk it out.
Very risky in NMG to go for the dupe because you don't have extra money. Oh, he was going for it.
I don't know if he was going for it or if he just forgot. You can't dash for a second.
Well, I'm going to try to not predict what I think it was because it'd probably be wrong, so... Oh, Chelsea is leaving. doesn't want to continue. She's seen enough.
I'm pretty sure what happened was Chelsea tried to type in the chat about hovering,
Okay.
but the screen transitioned too fast and she had to reset the cycle.
The classic losing time to hovering can happen in a variety of ways.
Yeah, Mikachu's got you covered, Blucencio, but if you screen transition or world transition while the bomb is starting, like after it started exploding but hasn't finished yet, I think, when you finish the screen transition, another bomb will just appear behind you. So you can save a bunch of time with that. But it's one of those things where like you're taking a safety route that loses like a minute. Are you really going to optimize saving like a second on your minute time
Yeah.
loss, or are you just going to like accept that you'll do tempered someday?
Especially considering if you do fail the bomb dupe, that's it. You don't
I mean,
get
it's
another
basically
chance to go
right.
back.
Yeah.
So you're, it's assumed that you're grabbing the silver arrows and the gold sword because that is how you know how to complete the game, and you wouldn't really want to put yourself in a position where you can no longer get those items.
Luckily, Hype Cave has 300 rupees if you need another bomb.
I had no idea. Today we learned. We all learned. Or maybe just me. I don't know. I came over from playing Rando. I never did the safety strats in this game. I don't really know how to route them in.
Haven't you done 200% runs?
Yes, but
That-
I
you
wouldn't
get
have
300
thought
rupees.
of where to go get backup rupees. I would have just stood there and been like, I guess I have to finish with no silver arrows. I'm screwed.
taking top route to Troll Rock.
I
Wow.
I thought I was lost, but
I thought we were lost too, but shoutouts to Relkin. Yeah, Vortex. That's why we're all sort of dunking on Boyan.
yeah. Look, I signed up for comms to be the entertainment, not to get shit right. We should know this about me by now.
Top route to Turtle Rock, by the way, only loses a couple seconds. It's like fine.
Unfortunately, you do have to deal with the worst screen in the game, which is that screen before you get to the bridge that has the dead rock on it after you've killed Aghanim, which is just the worst. It's the worst screen. And we don't get to see it in the NMG speedrun, and we should keep it that way, Omelet. Although I guess you get to see fewer dead rocks if you go top route, so maybe it balances out.
Yeah.
All right, Chelsea gonna go for the
yeah.
hover here. Let's see it.
She menued to hookshot and she's going to hover. You hate to see it. If you're going for the meme, you gotta go all in. Oh. Alright, how many tries are we getting?
She's got a fast hover. Like that's when she is actually in the hover animation, she's moving fast. That is not a slower methodical hover. That is a very good hertz.
These are very impressive hovers, except for the falling part. But like that was so fast.
Yeah, super good, super good. I cannot hover that fast.
I can't
Ever.
hover at all.
I don't think I've ever hovered that fast. Like there are, when you hover that screen well, optimally, maybe 7 seconds of time save.
I've heard things of that nature.
Most players probably hovering is going to save them 4 or 5 seconds, but that hover speed
like
from
that.
Chelsea is very close to being an optimal hover.
What was that angle?
Sword's not working correctly.
Oh, going for those big diagonals.
Got that one though. Very nice.
That was a gamer angle.
On the other side, Omelet had a very nice chain chomps room. Always feels good. Even when your run's been not great, you get a good chain chomp room. Just kind of... Oh, I guess that's kind of how it goes, right? The rest of the run, you've had a lot of issues, and then chain chomps, of course they're going to be nice to you this time. Why? They're not going to bother messing up a run that isn't on PB pace.
During his 125 grind, Yoho lost a lot of 125 paces in Chomp's room. He just got a string of terrible luck from those jerks.
It's just an unfair room. But Chelsea's on Ganon. Not getting the Trident spin. She's got downward facing Ganon, although I guess it's not really going to matter because he's going to throw the Trident again. We'll see if she can pull out the 2-in-1.
I don't know if you can 2-in-1 this RNG. Probably you can, but I don't know.
I think you have to be... Well, I think you would like to be dashing in the Firebat circle.
Right, I know
but you got it anyway.
Alright, well, yeah.
Very nice.
I'm gonna warp around for a while now just to kill time, I guess. He's scared of Link. Nice spooky on that Loki. For lamp, torch glitch. If you light the left torch before the second one, before the right one goes out. I'm pretty sure I said a lot of words wrong there. If you light the lamp, can you do it?
Nope, sorry, I'm not familiar with torch glitch. I don't know how it works.
Oh, okay.
Fully approve of lamp, by the way, to close out some of these tournament races. Like, there's nothing worse than missing torch glitch and having to limp your way to the finish of the game. And Chelsea, obviously watching the restream, knows she's got a sizable lead. Not gonna mess around with having to feel bad about the very last part of her run.
I'm pretty sure at least one player has actually lost a race to missing torch glitch, so that's probably even worse. Alright, get your GGs in chat for Chelsea.
Yeah, GG for Chelsea. Very nicely done. Besides the little adventure in Ice Palace, Dark World was very solid, and she showed off a lot of really good, really good stuff. Really good strats, really high execution.
Yeah, for
Nice
sure.
race from her.
And closing it out with another gold.
Gold Ganon, the best kind of gold.
It's definitely up there. Nice laser skip from Omelet. Uh-oh, down to 4 hearts.
Slips off the edge a little bit, which is a very familiar feeling. GG for Chelsea. Very nicely done. That's actually a good point. How was that a goal from Chelsea? Little adventure in Ice Palace, Dark World was
very
solid. There's 2 and 1 and like and she showed off 5, 6 warps. Really good stuff. Really good strats. Really high. Maybe it wasn't that many. Maybe it was only 3 warps.
I don't know. I mean, it looks like it was about a 207.
It was a good fight. Like everything else, I don't think she really lost any time in the rest of the fight, but 2 and 1 only loses about 8 seconds, 8-ish seconds versus a 1 and 1.
I think it's like 6. I think I've heard that the first extra phase 1s are 6 seconds and extra phase 2s
Oh,
are
is it
12.
okay? So it's 6 and 12. I thought it was 8 and 12.
I don't know. Maybe you're right.
We need FSG in here for those kinds of things. It's usually my default is ask FSG.
Maybe
Very nice try next from Omelet there.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't know if we're getting Chelsea in for an interview or not.
I don't know, somewhere on my screen is the race room, and she's probably been asked in there. But I can't find it, so I don't know what her response was.
Yeah. Hop in. Omelet making his way into GT after this, after Zelda shuts her yap. Oh, I keep thinking that Omelet is saving huge amounts of time, but I'm getting baited because he's running against averages.
No, he's
he's running against worst.
He's doing exactly what you should do on a run like this, and we've all been there. He's running against worsts, so you get to see some green numbers. That's the way to do it.
You get to see some slightly different strats out of him since he'll have gold sword and silvers.
Yeah, it's an interesting mix here in GT. I think I heard that we were joined by Chelsea there. Was that you, Chelsea?
It's me.
Hey,
hi. Oh, yeah. God, I don't even remember what went wrong. What did I do? Oh, yeah, the fake flipper. Yeah, that's when it all went wrong.
Fake flipper.
Fake flipper. And then, yeah, I thought you had to go right back to where you were. I didn't know you could just I don't know. Maybe I didn't read the rules thoroughly enough, but I totally thought.
In other tournaments, you're probably just thinking of the previous
last one.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, like it's.
I mean,
not even. I think if I were to fail fake flipper, I would go back and try it again anyway because
I had to get my revenge.
Yeah,
exactly.
You can't let that screen win.
You can't let it win. And that's how I felt. That's how I felt with the hover in Ice Palace. I was like, no, we're doing this. I didn't drop a single hover in practice, and then suddenly you get into the run, and your hands are sweaty, your arms are spaghetti, your knees are heavy, and you're just falling all over the place suddenly. So
it's strange because my experience with this game is everything always works like it does in practice. So that's strange that would happen to you.
Well, we all can't be good like you, Blaine.
Imagine even practicing this game.
Imagine even playing this. Listen, I went that route. For my first two races, and it's why I didn't sweep the group. I could have totally, if I'd gotten this time, I think in either of my races, I think I would have swept. So that was neat. But yeah, well, I'm glad I at least made it through.
Yeah, that's now good. You're in perfect position to sweep.
Heck up, Rywhack.
Apparently, yeah.
Just kidding.
That's good. I like the energy. I like seeing a little bit of smack talk.
As long as I don't mess up fake flipper, I might be okay. I still can't believe after everything that happened, it was only less than 2.5 minutes over. I thought for sure I was losing 5 minutes. It was such a meltdown.
No, you were
but
playing well. I mean, there were a couple
guess.
rooms that sort of, kicked your butt, but overall, I think you were playing well.
Yeah, I had a lot of good recoveries. I was listening. Obviously, I was
Whoa!
spamming
What
your
is that
chat.
strat? That was
What
cool. The omelet just did for Silver's Ice Armos. It
was
was like
that?
up
Oh
left,
yeah.
up left, up left.
Ooh, spicy. Man, now I want to get silvers.
I always just did the
Sudden-
rando player strat. I don't know how to do
Yeah.
ice. I don't know how to do silver arrow strats except for however I learned them in rando forever ago.
Yeah,
So that's
the
what
one that
do.
I did. I don't even know if that's a rando strat. You slash the dude and then 3 up and what or 4 up, something like that. I don't even remember how many. How do I play this game?
I shoot 6 arrows. I don't even think I do it the same every time, but there's 6 arrows. They kill them in one shot, and I'm good to go. It's a 4-year-old strat. It's worked so far. But yeah, I was gonna ask if you know who you're playing next, and obviously you do.
Yeah, I was paying close attention because I was either against Glan or Rywek, and I know both those nerds. I as much as I wanted to face Glan, I also did not want to face Glan.
Yes, very tough draw for Rywek. By the way, in
that's
round
a
1.
rough
Oof.
one. I know it's okay. He has me next, so we're good.
Yes, down there in the lower bracket where your life's going to be on the line every game that you play.
Yeah.
But so far, 1-0. You survived this one.
If I can beat Chelsea any day, I'm not going to make a joke. I was going to make a joke. I can make jokes on this channel, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I've heard that one before. Hand me a controller, I'll make you fall to get. Hey, is my name Christos Owen? Okay, backstory since we have a little bit of time. At what's it called? AGDQ, is that the last GDQ that existed? At the last AGDQ, we had a 3-person co-op key sanity mumbo jumbo race, and they had I guess handicaps that you could get if you drew a certain item. Like they hacked it to make it so that there was an item that you would pull and you would get a card. And I guess one of the handicaps was grab any other player's controller for 30 seconds, and over and over and over again. Christos was on my team. The other team, I think it was Rywek, and then oh goodness, I can't remember who the other people are. It doesn't matter. But the other people, they just kept coming over and grabbing his controller and making him fall to Ganon. So it was a good time.
Boy, I wish I had known about this before the tournament. I might have been able to put some rules in for some special handicaps.
Yeah, you should have.
Sounds like a good wild card for the winners bracket finals.
Yeah, it would have been fun. It's okay. We can have a. Where did I die? What? Huh? Did I die?
Well, it counts save.
It counts your save and quits.
Oh.
You saved.
Well, that doesn't count.
Prior to your soft lock, so
yeah,
that
doesn't count. Man, imagine if I hadn't. Imagine if I didn't do that thing. That was the one thing I knew.
Dark World was just one room in Ice Palace that was wrong, and then the Hera adventure, and the rest of your run was really right there with your PB, despite a couple mistakes that you had to recover from, and nobody's PB is perfect, right? So it was a pretty good run, and some of the strats you pulled out were very difficult, and you made them look very easy, and we spoke about how we were jealous of your ability to do that multiple times.
I'm a strong believer, maybe not a believer, in doing really dumb strats that make no sense for my skill level. But it's fun. But it's fun to do, like the chomps I heard you guys saying. Chomps, I don't care. It's fun. I will always do the block blah, 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 blah. It's fun. It's just straight up fun.
I got no problem with that idea. That's I'm fine. Have fun with the strat you do. Then it's gonna make you play the game longer for sure.
Exactly.
Enjoyment out of it, and people are gonna like watching you more too. So you were a big hit. Everybody likes seeing these things get pulled out. And your hovers, by the way.
Yeah, I milked that.
Failed, but when you were hovering, that's fast. You're moving fast. That's faster than most players, even very good hovers, So I'm
Yeah.
impressed. Even though you got a couple fails and falls in there, and it was an adventure.
Yeah,
But
I find
you're moving the elf through the air.
with that specific tempo.
Very nice 3-cycle from Omelet. He's been having a good GT, by the way.
This has been very good from him.
This is really close to sub 8.
Okay, kind of off the beaten path. Does anyone else feel like this fight is impossible in NMG, but in Rando it's like you can get out like 2 cycles, 3 cycles every time? What the heck is that about? I swear, when I'm playing NMG, Aga 2 is the hardest boss.
It is my least favorite part of the NMG run.
Yeah, he can just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna blue ball your face off."
On pace, it's basically impossible. I don't think anybody has ever gotten a 3-cycle when they were on pace in the history of the game. If you have, then I guess you're the first, because I've never seen it. But yeah, it's no fun, and it's so unfair. It feels so unfair. I think that's my problem with it. It just feels unfair, and the amount of time you have to put into the fight to get good at it also feels unfair.
And it's not fun to practice.
Yeah, I mean,
unlike every other boss.
It can be a little fun, but it's not as like there are things in this game that are fun to practice that are annoying in the speedrun, like Landmo and Moldorm and stuff like that.
I love practicing Landmo. I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that shit for hours.
As frustrating as they can be in the game.
I actually got a 2-cycle. That was the last thing I did before this run was get a 2-cycle Landmo.
Yeah, your Landmo fight was really good. You got robbed of the 3-cycle.
I did get robbed of the 3-cycle. I agree. I think maybe that was a little bit of spaghetti as well. My heart, for whatever reason, was going ballistic during Landmo 2 or Landmo 1. I don't know what was going on, so I think that kind of affected my hands and maybe even affected the fake flipper a bit too. Who knows?
Interesting.
So,
I always get hella nervous at the beginning of races and have like 559 escapes, and then I'm fine for the rest of it. But I don't know. Maybe your nerves just hit at a different part of the run.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, am I dying? Am I going to have to postpone the race? What's going on?
All right, Omelet finishing up his cannon fight. Nice 4th cycle there, hitting him with 4 silver arrows.
GG.
GG's to Omelet. After he typed in chat that he was warmed up, by the way, he played fantastic. So he was right.
he had an 813 GT. What kind of 137 runner plus 10 minutes on their PB just knocks out an 813 GT? Come on.
Yeah, 813 is massive. That is around where you're at, like 130 flat.
Yeah.
And then we saw flashes of it. I mean, like the deaths, obviously, you're going to lose a lot of time dying in this game. And it's not an exclusive thing to a 137 runner. Dying is going to happen to everybody. But he's shown a lot of flashes and clearly things that he'd put some time into and understood very well. And then other things that, certainly just didn't have enough time to understand quite as well as you need to yet. The Aga Tower specifically, there was just some things that went wrong for him there, but a lot of impressive stuff from Omelet.
And here he is. GG's.
Hi, thank you guys.
GG.
GG's, Chelsea. Congrats.
Thanks. It was dodgy at the beginning.
A little bit, yeah.
It could have gone a lot worse. I bet you saw me fail that fake flipper and you're like, this is it. This is my chance.
I didn't. I wasn't watching the I wasn't watching the restream until I was like 9 minutes behind my PB. Like,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't watch restream either. This was the first one I actually watched, so.
Yeah, totally.
It was fun though. It was a very fun run. I enjoyed watching the whole thing.
Yeah, it was good. I set up wine bottles next to my stuffed panda on my camera in the middle of the run.
Oh my God, you did.
Wine? Did you say wine bottles?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're my new best friend. You're my new best friend. I want to go drink wine with you now.
I didn't even realize it was a cam. I just thought it was a still picture.
I knew it was a cam because I saw him adjusting the panda before the stream started, before the race started. But yeah, so for viewers at home, Chelsea has Stoop doing a little dance in front of a wine bottle.
We've been watching.
They saw.
Or a wine glass.
Snoop's just having a good time, man. Yeah, I didn't feel like webcamming it up today. I was on a plane all day yesterday, and I still feel yucky. Yeah, I still feel yucky. So I'm like, I'm not doing anything webcam-wise. So you guys got Snoop today. It's a blessing.
I approve. Y'all should mash through credits and show file names, respectively.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
How many times I died too. That'll be fun.
Yeah, a little bit rough in the early going omelet.
Dude,
Land
yeah.
and then in Hera, and then Agate Tower especially. But you were showing flashes even before that, like just really good skill level. And obviously, I've been playing the game that long, but did a lot of impressive stuff. And then at some point in Dark World, you kind of said in chat, "Okay, I'm warmed up now," and
Yeah.
everything was really solid.
Yeah, everything after Thieves Town went okay. I just, for the beginning, like, my hands just weren't working. I don't know, the sun was in my eyes or something, man.
I know that feel.
Yeah, it looks like from Skullwoods through the end of the game, you lost 8 seconds on your PB. Like, that's a good run.
Yeah, that is, yeah, for sure.
After you got there.
Yeah.
And I mean, this game is really hard.
It's so hard. It's such a
Messed
difficult
up,
video
man.
game. You don't
It's
realize
messed up.
until you start running it just how unforgiving it is sometimes. You're just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I heard Wayne in the my Pokey 1, no clue how that double hit didn't work, but it
Yeah,
just
it
didn't.
didn't
Game was just like, no, not
It didn't
today.
look bad. Like, you can get a late spin there, and it looks bad when you release it, and you're like, this isn't going to hit him twice. And yours didn't look bad, and it didn't hit him twice. And you're just like, all right, I wasn't expecting this. What do I do now?
Such a jank room. I was like, what do I do?
And I mean, Omelet, you haven't actually, I don't think you've been running the game that long. I know, like, you
Yeah.
probably picked it up, I don't know how far before the tournament you picked it up.
Yeah, it was like the end of January I started playing.
Oh, so that's sick. Like, for you to
Yeah.
already be at this point in less
To
than
get
2
into the
months is
tournament at
crazy.
all.
Yeah, definitely. I was really stoked to even, like, be able to participate in the tournament, and I got one win out of it, so I feel pretty good.
Yeah, your run was actually, like, through the tournament. You PB'd the day before seeding locked, which
Yeah.
got you in the last spot, which was awesome. And your first 2 runs, I think, were both PBs.
Yeah, there were.
And then your third run was a win in the group stage. So that
Yeah.
was like, that's fantastic, especially at that point for someone who's been playing less than 2 months. It's crazy.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, your progression has really been fun to watch, and if you were watching the restreaming parts, I said this a few times, but like it's really clear that you have done a lot of research and you haven't necessarily like put all of the knowledge in your brain into your hands yet, but like it's really clear that you know what's going on really well in a lot of places. Pretty cool. I hope you stick with it and we get to see some more speed runs out of you.
Yeah, you definitely will. And yeah, thanks for the compliments. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I've been saying, and I'm at the risk of repeating myself all over the place in every commentary I do, like the point of this tournament is not to determine who's the best Link to the Past runner. Like, pretty sure we already know that across the board. Like, we've got all the data that shows here's who's good, here's who's the best. So this is more just a celebration. It's to get people who maybe weren't speedrunning the game into the speedrun, people who'd been away to get back into it, viewers to check out the community and so on and so forth. And the last time we had an event like this, about 3 years ago, a lot of the players who were new to the game right around the time of that tournament have gone on to become very top runners. So 2 years from now, who knows? It might be Master Omelet with a 124 PB, and that'd be really sick if the tournament can have that kind of effect on the community. That'd be really awesome. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be cool. Like anybody that has enjoyed watching any of this tournament, anybody who enjoyed watching this race, Chelsea is a fantastic person to follow for more Link to the Past, and Master Omelet could be the next big up-and-coming player. If he's going to stick with it, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch him.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate you guys commentating. You guys did a great job. Got to listen to a good chunk of it, so.
I agree. Commentary was mwah, chef's kiss. You guys did great. Thank you both. I really appreciate it.
Thank y'all for doing the actually hard part of this. I just had to sit here and watch.
Yes.
I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to watch. Sometimes it's hard to watch this game.
The only time it's hard for us is if we have to do math, and we didn't have to do that much math, so we made it out unscathed.
Yeah,
Glad
I
we
made you
made it
do a little
easy on
math. All right. Yeah, thank you both. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's thanks for joining us too. Unless you guys have any last words, anything else you want to throw in here? Fox, anything from you?
No.
Kick it back to ZSR then to take us home.
Yeah,
Have a
well,
good night,
I'll
everyone.
jump in here with my thanks. Thank you, Blaine, Fox, for the fantastic commentary. I mean, you guys crushed it. Chelsea, Master Omelet, thanks for running. You guys also crushed it, and it was a great race to watch, so we really appreciate it. Coming up tomorrow on DSR, we've got quite a few. We've got the winners finals of Ocarina of Time Random. We've also got another NMG tournament match at the same time. And then we've got a number of events after that as well. Another NMG match, Skyward Sword Randomizer tournament match, Twilight Princess, another NMG. So, yeah, like I said, quite a few events. And yeah, I hope you guys will tune in to those tomorrow. Lost dropped the schedule in the chat. So, yeah, we're going to be rating here. We are going to be rating ID, I believe. They are doing an escape tutorial. So we are going to give them some luck. Yeah, so everybody, have a great night.
GG's. Thanks, Chelsea, for the race. Good luck on your